yet another episode of the Incident and Problem Management podcast by smartQED. This show helps the incident and problem management teams to bring structure, clarity, and control, and helps them solve issues efficiently. I'm your host today, Ron Spencer. In today's episode of our community podcast, we'll discuss the ins and outs of the challenges related to process and how to handle defects. Be sure to listen all the way through. Let me take a quick minute now to introduce you to today's speaker. Our guest today is Mr. Phaniendra Somraj. He is a master and a black belt in Lean Six Sigma with a passion for operational excellence. He will share his thoughts on the operational challenges he faced and how he handled them. Hi, Phaniendra. Thanks so much for joining us. How are you doing?
Very good. Hello, everyone. I'm very pleased to be invited to this podcast, Ron. Thank you.
Thank you. So without wasting much time, let us begin with the questions. Would you please share with our audience your background and current work?
Yes, absolutely. I am a master black belt in Lean Six Sigma, and I have around 15 years of experience working from senior manager level, global quality manager roles, managing global teams around the world, and being a quality head. And in recent times, I've been consulting with some, financial and banking sectors, and I've done some IT work. My career best had been working with Philips on a ventilator ramp-up project. It was a very high-paced project and really was a calling for me during COVID, and being part of a project that was very crucial during the COVID time. So I'm very pleased to be here and invited to this podcast, and hope my words here will be of value to the audience. Thank you.
I'm sure it will be. Thank you very much. So coming to our next question, what are some of the main challenges you have encountered in your work, and how have you addressed them? If you could throw some insight, on that, please.
Yes, I think there is different kinds of problems in the enterprises. Again, some wants to go after the defects or the bugs in the codes. Some want to go on cost saving solutions. Some want to go on a long-term strategy where they want to change their revenue numbers by a certain percentage. Some companies want to improve their customer experience, right? So again, black belts lead multiple different kind of challenges in different environments and different settings. But the very, very critical, I think, commonality from all the problems that we try to lead is really the change management. I mean, we start at a place and we go to another place, and how that journey is. It really depends on how the leadership supports and has a vision for the team and the company, and how the team is really very involved from the beginning, going towards that common goal and getting it, and achieving it. The challenges while doing that is, one is, you will always see that change is a difficult thing to adapt to for a lot of us, and a Lean Six Sigma leader has to be that coach and mentor throughout the process, right? So that's one of the challenges, is really the change that is involved. Another one is actually the paper heaviness of just the Lean Six Sigma process itself, because some of these Six Sigma level projects, which follow the DMAIC, the define, measure, analyze, improve, and control methodology and framework, can be a little paper heavy, because there is multiple tools within each of those phases. There are different teams working on it. There is collaborative work. There is a lot of information and knowledge sharing. There is incident management. There is data, and all of that becomes a little more like paper heavy if we were to really take those projects. And I think we still haven't seen a lot of digitization and automation in the area of the tools that are used part of the Lean Six Sigma. So I see, I think like I said, the challenges are really the paper-heavy Lean Six Sigma process, the change management, and the resistance to change is probably the top two challenges that we have in the work that I do. Thank you.
That's very well explained, and I'm sure our audience would be able to, learn a lot of things, from the points that you have shared with them. So this brings me to our next question. You are a certified Lean Six Sigma Black Belt. Could you please share your insights on how Lean Six Sigma is evolving and how it impacts IT service management?
Absolutely. I think I'll make it very, very simple. Again, the lean came from the lean manufacturing principles, and then Six Sigma came from the Motorola, where the defect. It is a framework designed to eliminate or prevent defects completely. So Lean Six Sigma together is basically removing the waste from the system and also optimizing your processes and designs and systems so that we have zero defects. And in the manufacturing world, everything is tangible. Most of it is tangible, meaning if you have a defect, you will see a box of defects or a pile of defects in the corner, and everybody is actually passing by and they know that this is a challenge. But what happens in the IT world is most of the challenges are hidden behind the computer, and it becomes complex to identify what is actually wrong in the value streams or the chain of events that take place to do the software development during the software development life cycle. And Lean Six Sigma, again, Agile was born from Lean Six Sigma principles. And what they really innovated in the marketplace is to visualize the value streams better so they can identify where the bottlenecks are in the process, and then go back to the drawing board and do the same thing that we do as always, is really put a structured format to it and solve that problem. And say you have a lot of defects, right? And you have to solve that problem. You identify the data, and then you do an analysis, you do a root cause analysis, and then you identify what those root causes are, and then implement your countermeasures, and then you sustain. And that's pretty much the common framework for all challenges out there. But I think in IT world, a lot of these challenges, they are hiding, and you need to be very persistent and really collaborate better to bring those out. And there are 7 different kinds of waste that we always talk about when it comes to IT, like task switching, partially done work, extra features designed into the product, a lot of relearning because there's a lot of teams running between the sprints, delays in the projects, handoffs, and of course the bugs, right? So these, like, 7 different kinds of waste in the system are what that are the are what that are causing the most pain in the IT sector. And Lean Six Sigma, again, like I said, Agile was born from Lean Six Sigma, can greatly help. And there are a lot of agilists out there and agile coaches working with multiple teams to get better at the customer centric products launched at the marketplace. So that's pretty much to kind of put my experience working with the IT teams and what I see out there. Thanks.
Thank you, Phaniendra. This was pretty descriptive. Thank you again.
Right.
I'll route my next question to Julie, who is the founder of smartQED. Could you please share some thoughts on why you built smartQED and how it models the Lean Six Sigma principles?
Yes, surely. Thank you, Ron. Thanks also, Somraj, for the insights you've been providing into the Lean Six Sigma process and what it can do for IT. So I myself come from the enterprise IT background, and I was a director of engineering here in the Silicon Valley, working with enterprise software, that's actually, very important component of the, say, a web application today. Yeah. So once there is a defect or a problem identified by a customer, oftentimes we would have exercises of like war rooms, for major incidents. So when we were participating, me and my co-founder Terry, both of us, we come from different companies, but it's a common theme. When you participate in these war rooms, there's a lot of pressure. There's difficulty collaborating and coordinating with the team. What are the others saying? What are they doing? What are they going to do? What is the plan? So there are delays that are caused by these gaps. I think there are gaps in the process. Today, people don't have the process properly, to investigate a problem, and also the tools, right? So we felt the need from our own work to create smartQED. That is the genesis and the motivation for creating smartQED. And as you know, Ron, it's an innovative tool. It uses visualization for to bring structure and clarity to the problem investigation process. Ease of use is another important factor. You're already dealing with a complex problem with a large team. The tool must be very, very simple. It has to simplify the complexity. Otherwise, people are going to get lost in the tool itself. And most importantly, we wanted to also bring in the power of AI and ML to optimize the process. For example, to optimize the retrieval of relevant knowledge. If I have a website down, what are the pieces of information I need to solve this specific problem? So the audience for this product is basically, incident and problem management teams, site reliability engineering teams. And in the broader scenario, it also can be used by any kind of problem solving, for root cause analysis that Somraj already mentioned. Yeah. So how does it model the Lean Six Sigma principles? Like I mentioned, our motivation was to improve the process efficiency. Yes. So two main glitches that we see in the incident resolution process come from collaboration and coordination, especially for complex and urgent problems. If you have large teams, now large doesn't mean hundreds of people. It actually even means more than 3-4 people collaborating on the problem. They get into gaps and they're not on the same page. So for that, we have adopted the time-tested fishbone or Ishikawa diagram, which, as you know, is one of the quality tools recommended by Six Sigma. And this diagram is our primary visualization because it's very structured, very clear. And we have done a lot of enhancements to this basic fishbone diagram to make it layered and interactive, concurrent, and integrated the status and actions tracking. And the second aspect is the glitches in knowledge management. These are the inefficiencies that you face while you are working on a problem. What troubleshooting guide should I look at? Where are the expert tips to help me solve this problem? Now, today's process is to manually search your knowledge base and dig for these pieces of information. Yeah. So in that process, you actually have to go through sometimes irrelevant articles. And, we found in our experience that a lot of these articles that were written were actually never read, or read under really high time pressure. It's the manual searching and reading itself is taking away time when you have to meet your SLA. So in smartQED, we have focused on this aspect very much, that we need to automate and optimize the retrieval of relevant knowledge. And for that, we bring in the power of AI and ML to generate visual and structured recommendations, and move away from the search and read manually to learn and apply how to solve a problem. And because our tool is a visualization tool, even the recommendations are provided as visual maps, which is the fishbone map in our case. And really these two aspects in smartQED, I think, really model the LSS principles of improve the efficiency of your investigation process, make it easy for the people that are participating in problem investigations. I'm sorry for the long answer, but I feel very passionately about efficiency and the lean principles. So thank you, Ron, for giving me the opportunity to answer that.
Thank you, Julie. That was really very helpful. So this brings me towards the end of the podcast, but I would like to go back to Phaniendra and ask him one more question.
Yes.
Phaniendra, this is for you. Have you seen a demo of smartQED, and what is your view of our product?
Oh yes, I saw the demo and I actually went on the website and I was blown away by the amount of research that the team has done because I was able to see through the different use cases and the fishbone diagram for different kinds of use cases. And like I said, my recent project was the ventilator ramp up project, and I really led a quality strategy goal for the team. And I wish I had something like that, because I think visualization was one of the challenges in terms of really getting to the root causes of the issues that were causing some of these delays and quality issues. And as the fishbone diagram is basically a categorical visualization and structure given to how you can identify the causes, and then from there you kind of build your cause affinity to get to the root causes. And you have different categories like man, material, measurement, method, mother nature, and maintenance. And it becomes a lot more laborious when you start to actually investigate these Six Sigma level and complex challenges, especially in the incident management that Julie mentioned. And we deal with that quite a bit in the med devices industry, in the banking and again in the IT industry, and it becomes very laborious to kind of sit there and really structure it. And that is one part to it, where the tool itself is complex. Another part is, how do you get your team to collaborate and contribute in collecting that knowledge, so that the design of that fishbone is very robust, right? And I think this tool, just from my initial access to getting a free access to the tool itself, and really trying the bells and whistles, I mean, it was very easy to go from one to another. It was easy to share with other team members, to collaborate and add to the tool. And also, one great feature I saw was that at the end of the project, you can actually lock it. And it is, and it is really a revision proof, meaning nobody can touch it until, you really, the access is changed by the owner of that tool, owner of that fishbone project, right? So I think there's a lot of potential for the tool. And just being in the industry for 15 plus years and seeing various tools, working with a lot of problem solving projects and incident management tools, this one struck me more because of the visualization. And that's really that's where the world is going to, meaning you have multiple people have less time to really go and sit there and read some articles, so they want to see something visual and then really make sense of it and see if they can add more to it, so they can spend on the most value add then, and take time off from the non-value add. So I think this tool will have a lot of future in the industries to come. And I'm really hopeful that this tool succeeds and solves a lot more problems for us. So thank you.
Thank you.
That was a wonderful endorsement kind of our product. Thank you, Somraj, for first of all using it, and
Yes.
secondly, you're an expert in the field. There are a lot of experts in the world, but oftentimes they're theoretical, but you've actually lived what you kind of teach, and the principles. One thing is to learn about the LSS principles, and there is another thing to actually live it, right? So I really think your value that way is very practical, and it is very real. Yeah, so thank you so much for that assessment of our tool. So with that, I hand it back to Ron.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Phaniendra, for devoting your valuable time. this brings us to the end of our podcast. We'll continue to help the community of incident and problem management teams to bring structure, clarity, and control to their process. With this, I would like to say have a great day ahead to all of you. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you.